It's 10 o'clock. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Excellent. Fantastic. I've got 17 people right now, so I assume people may continue to trickle in, which is great, and I've got to keep my eye on the some of you just added right into it, and then others are going into the waiting room. I don't know why, but you should have gotten the link to load the Keynote Live slideshow. It's in Canvas if you missed it, but if you want to see the slides, as we go through them in a browser window, that's the way you do that. And I will also be recording this portion of the screen that I'm working in, and I'll post that later. So welcome to Java. I hope it's going to be somebody else is in the waiting room. Awesome semester. Lots of fun, and also I think programming can be fun and super rewarding. Yeah, questions? So remember, I think I automatically muted all of you when the meeting started. But if you want to ask a question, you'll have to turn your microphone on. The Keynote Live is on just a slide that says Preface and Online Plans. So what I want to do this morning is go through essentially the online course plans, what I'm planning to do, the syllabus, key elements of the syllabus, and see if there are any questions, and then also downloading and setting up the course app. So if you haven't gotten a copy of the syllabus and you want that in front of you, it's in files on Canvas, but there's also a direct link in the Keynote slide to it on the MIS2 server. So if you haven't gotten a copy, that's the place to get it. Yeah, so the basic idea of the course that I'm going to try to do is we will pick once or twice a week a time that's good for us to meet synchronously via Zoom, where I'll show you how to do stuff, go through the Keynote slides, answer questions, all that kind of stuff, and then I'll post a recording of that on YouTube, hopefully later the same day, so that you can, if you missed the live meeting, that you can always get the recorded one, and or you can go back and look at the recorded one, whenever you want to say a review for something. So I tried to come up with a slide that was sort of visually depicting what my intentions are, but we'll be using sort of as resources the Java IDE. The one I use is Eclipse, and it's free. And then the presentation slides, which I use Keynote, which is the Mac version of PowerPoint, and I use it because of this. Well, I have a Mac and I like it better, but also it has this cool Keynote Live broadcasting feature that if you want to take advantage of, you can. And then we've got the textbook, which is still pretty new. I just used it once last fall. It went really well, so I expect more of the same this semester. So I'll be using all of those resources, kind of pouring into these live Zoom meetings. I'll record the meeting, and then I'll produce an edited meeting, later that day, I hope. I would anticipate also some pre-recorded tutorial walkthroughs, like here's how to do the Hello World again in Eclipse, and then lots of email updates, and probably also Canvas updates. Hopefully everybody's getting the Canvas announcements and also got my emails about the meeting and stuff. So if you're having any trouble accessing any of that, be sure to let me know and figure out what's going on. And I guess I should say also, I was warned that Zoom may hang up or give us some difficulties. So if it does, we'll just try to reconnect and keep going.
I have a quick question.
Absolutely.
You just talked about the textbook. Do you want us to buy our own copy, or is that something that you'll have available for us as well on campus?
No, you'll want a copy, but it could be a used copy. It could be a hand-me-down copy from last year. I say on the syllabus that it's required. I haven't done anything really worthy of screen sharing yet, but I'm not sure. I have shared my screen before, and now it's saying I have to quit Zoom and restart it to do it, which I don't want to do. So on my screen, literally all I'm doing is paging through the Keynote slides. So if you get the Keynote slide URL, that's just what I'm doing.
Great.
So the book, sorry, the textbook. Yeah, shoot.
So for live classes, are we going to meet Tuesday, Thursday at 10, or what is
Yeah, so I mean, it's totally up to us because it's not, and it wasn't entered as a synchronous class. So the synchronous is just kind of bonus. You should see a poll. These are anonymous, so these are not graded or anything like that at all. But in terms of the meeting times, I don't know. We'll meet. We'll try to pick times that the most people who want to meet synchronously can. I know probably it'll be impossible to pick a time that everybody can. I mean, I notice right now there's 26 people on the Zoom call, which is awesome. That's a little over half of the students. And I did get a couple of emails saying I can't do it at 10 o'clock. So got another poll, I think, which asks about times you might be able to meet. But I think what I'll do is actually do a Canvas quote unquote quiz that asks you, on particular days what times might work, so that we can hopefully find days that everybody wants to can. All right, so this first poll, by a very slight margin, more of you are using a Mac than a PC, which is awesome. It was just a curiosity poll, nothing. The cool thing about Java is, if you don't know, the cool thing about Java is it works on Macs and PCs. It's the same language. They call that write once, run anywhere. So you can code an app in Java on a Mac or a PC or something else and share that app with somebody else, and you don't have to worry about, do they have a Mac or do they have a PC or do they have exactly the specific configuration. Java programs just work. So I'll come back to the meeting times, and it will be something that we'll dig into and see if there's a better time, or if this is a great time, or whatever the case may be. So I'm on the theme slide on the Keynote Live, if you're watching it. So I like to have fun with the course. I think we should be having fun. Coding can be a lot of fun. I think we're doing something wrong if we're not having at least some fun. So I added a theme to the course a few years ago, and it was also just because I had all these different Java code examples, and they were just wildly different kind of topics. I had like a parking garage example, and I had a pizza example, and I had a sailboat example, and oh gosh, just several. And I thought it would be nicer if all of the examples at least complied with a common theme that was that was fun. So I picked pirates, and I try not to overdo it, to the extent that it becomes tiresome. The textbook is the next slide up, and you can see it. It's on Amazon, but again, somebody told me it wasn't in the bookstore. I'm not sure why it wasn't in the bookstore. It's set up on Amazon, so it should be available to the bookstore, and they know what the book is. But be that as it may, used copies, old copies, hand-me-down copies, whatever. There won't be a lot of those, unfortunately, because I just taught with it once last year. But hopefully, there are some out on the out on the market.
I have a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So for the textbook, is any code or any software thing in it, or just a book?
Well, all of the code that we talk about in class, much of the code will come out of the textbook. So it's got and it does have a download of resources, but you could also download those resources without. There's a link in the keynote at some point. So, I mean, certainly if you don't want to get the book, you don't have to. All right. Yeah.
Another question for the Java ID, you may mention it before, but I may miss it. So do we need to download? It's like the thing we need to download?
Yes. And I've got a whole topic coming up on downloads and setup. So we're just going to step through it kind of in order.
Okay.
But absolutely, Eclipse, and it's an easy download. If you want to start downloading it, you certainly can. But I'm not even going to show it to you for a bit. But first piece of software we want is this CourseAccess Hub. and that's the slide I'm in Keynote, and it's described in the syllabus if you looked over the syllabus, but it's a Java desktop app that acts as the hub for all of the downloads and all of the topics. It has links to the Keynote slides if you want to get to them later and go through them at your own speed. It's got links to any and all handouts that you can scroll through and find. It'll also have a whole little app dedicated to looking at your scores and seeing how they compare with other students, and also how do they compare with your goals grade-wise for the course to see if you're on track or not. So I give you the link there on the MIS2 server for the download. And this is really where I would want to share my screen. So everybody understand, I'm going to quit Zoom and then reload the meeting. So if you get kicked off and need to get back on, then that's what you need to do. All right, here goes.
I don't know if you.
Hey, are you guys there?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic.
Do you want our videos on?
Oh, I mean, if we're doing it, you might as well. But it's optional if you're, I don't know, if you're not video ready. But video is always nice.
I made you the host again.
Fantastic. All right, hey guys. Yeah, it's good to see familiar faces too. So let me turn on the screen sharing then. I want to screen share this portion of the screen.